Start by crouching on the ground with your ankle in front of your knee. Lengthen the back leg and slightly lift your knee from the ground so you feel a light stretch through the hamstring. Reach your inside elbow down towards the ground and complete a full breath cycle. You then want to rotate through your torso and reach towards the sky. Your arms should be a full extension of your chest rather than overstretching through the shoulder girdle. Complete another full breath cycle and then repeat 3 times on each side. This is a great stretch for increasing mobility through the adductor and hamstring region. It will also help by opening up your T-spine. The most common mistake we see athletes make is when they forget to lengthen their back leg or they over-rotate through the shoulder rather than their torso. Start in a half kneeling position. Tuck your hips in and under your torso, lightly push your hips forward, then reach for the sky. Complete a full breath cycle, ensuring you feel a light stretch through your hip flexor and down the side of your body. Repeat the stretch 3 times on each side. This stretch will help increase mobility to the hip flexors and muscles of the lateral chain. The most common mistake we see is when an athlete arches their lower back rather than tucking the hips under their midline. Athletes commonly lean excessively, leading to a collapsed torso as well. Drop your front hip and knee down towards the ground in a 90-degree position. Straighten your back leg as best as you can, then bring your torso down towards your knee. Complete a full breath cycle and repeat the movement 3 times on each side. This is a great stretch for opening up the external rotators of the hips. The most common mistake we see athletes make is when they tuck the heel rather than opening up to a 90-degree angle through the knee. This is usually a compensation for poor mobility. When completing this stretch, you might need to work towards a 90-degree angle and straighten the back leg slowly but progressively over time. For our thoracic rotation stretch, we are going to lie on our side with our knees tucked above our hips. Maintaining contact with your knee to the ground at all times, slide your top arm across your body, reaching up at a 45-degree angle. Turn your head to look where you're going. This will facilitate more of a stretch. Ensuring the arm is only an extension of your back, find your full range of motion and reach the opposite arm to the sky. Complete a full breath cycle, repeating 3 times on each side. This is a great stretch for opening up your spine and the muscles surrounding the shoulder girdle. The most common mistake we see athletes make is when they cheat the movement through the shoulder or by lifting the knees from the ground. Ensure your knees are always tucked towards your chest to avoid cheating through the lower back. For your cobra stretch, lie flat on your stomach and push your chest towards the sky. Aim for a U-shaped curve through your back and look upwards. Complete a full breath cycle and repeat the motion 3 times. The most common mistake we see athletes make is when they cheat by lifting the hips off the ground. This can be common if you are tight somewhere in the anterior chain. Stand in an upright position with your eyes looking forward. Lift your ankle and knee to a 90-degree angle and point your toes towards the sky. Maintain stability for 30 seconds on each leg. Aim for a tripod position through your foot where you have even pressure through the heel, midfoot and big toe. Try not to use your arms to balance. You can also make this more challenging by holding a basketball in your hands and completing slow body wraps. Progress to level 2 by holding the same upright position but slowly turning your head from side to side. This will challenge your proprioceptive muscles to respond as your brain is registering different stimuli. The most common mistake we see athletes make is when they start to cheat the movement by leaning backwards or bending the knee. For level 3, close your eyes and complete the same movements. You can start by standing still, then progressing towards a head turn. Ensure you complete this in a safe environment with plenty of space. Most athletes should find this extremely challenging. The final progression is completing the same movement pattern with the heel slightly elevated. Your heel should be just off the ground high enough so you can slide a credit card underneath the foot. The slower you complete these movement patterns, the harder they become to control. If you still find this easy, you can progress it further by throwing and catching a tennis ball against the wall. Start by placing a basketball on the ground by your side. Sit back into a quarter squat position and slowly wrap your foot around the ball. Try to stay standing on one leg for 30 seconds. As you fatigue, stay long for your torso and avoid slouching forwards. Keep your eyes up and squeeze your glute muscles for added stability. Your foot should be in a tripod position, as we explained during the ankle series. This movement can be further progressed by adding a light resistance band around the knees. Holding a basketball out in front of you, complete a slow and controlled leg swing, then hinge back into that RDL position. Ensure you stay long for your spine and complete the movement pattern slowly. Keep your eyes up and maintain that tripod position throughout your foot. You can now progress the RDL into an aeroplane. This is where you rotate your torso left and right at the end of your range. As with all of our stability exercises, ensure you complete this movement slow and controlled. The slower you go, the harder it comes to balance. The final progression is back on your midfoot. This is where your heel is raised just enough so you can slide a credit card under the foot. This progression is extremely advanced and most athletes will find it challenging. As always, if you're looking to progress further, you can close your eyes for that added difficulty. For more warm-up tricks, feel free to contact SRA Sports Therapy on Instagram.